Welcome to the Kelly Lynn Lozano Show, a place to learn how to dream, to learn how to live, to learn how to turn your life into a legacy. A safe place to laugh, learn, cry, feel loved and appreciated, and forge a forever bond of sisterhood. Get ready, girl, to connect with your highest self. Let's go. Let's go. As I prepared this message about changing seasons in our life, I started out by doing what I normally do, and that's writing. Because writing, for some reason, helps me think through the process. So I took a piece of paper, and on the piece of paper on the top, I wrote, "What do I know about seasons?" The very first word that I wrote was painful. Interesting, isn't it? Painful. Maybe because I've had more painful seasons in my life, or maybe it's because I just remember the painful seasons more vividly. The second word I wrote on my list is growth, because it doesn't matter what season I've been into, looking back at all of my seasons, I know that in every season I have grown. And so as I looked at those two words, it really got me thinking about what seasons were so significant in my life that has to do with my life right now. Even though it was a bad season, even though it was a really tough season, what were the lessons and the skills that I learned that are beneficial to me right now so that I could actually look at them as a gift? Well, I have a few seasons in my life that have provided me gifts, even though they have been some of the toughest seasons in my life. The first season that I thought about was when I had to make the choice to leave teaching. Now, if you've known my story, I absolutely love teaching. I taught at our local community college for 10 years. And because of changing circumstances, I had to make the decision to stay and not be able to make enough money to support my family. I was an adjunct instructor at the time. And I taught several classes a year. And that was my main income. And then in the evenings I waited tables at the Red Lobster. And I did that. I waited tables my entire life. It's a great way to make fast income to either support your family or to support your hobby or whatever it is that you love to do. Even to live. I mean, waiting tables is a great way to serve and make money at the same time. Well, I left my job teaching and I went into management at the Red Lobster. And I did not want to be a manager at the Red Lobster. It was one of my toughest seasons of my life for a lot of different reasons. And it definitely was not my calling, not my purpose. I was not in my lane. However, I had great lessons. I had learned great skills while I was in that really miserable season. I went to Florida for a week and learned a lot of great management skills. And then as a manager for 2 years, I was able to use what I learned and actually get better at it. And it has really, really been useful in my first business that I started myself, the Grand Trunk Marketplace, and now using it for these new businesses that I'm working on and inspiring and encouraging women. So gifts in hard season. Another gift was when I almost lost my house. And I was a single mom, hustling, working 2 jobs, trying to work and pay the mortgage. I owned my home at the time, trying to work, pay my mortgage, and feed my son at the same time. I remember the day. It was a tough season. It was a tough financial season for me. And honestly, I wasn't that great with money. And I was not at worthy. I was not even close to feeling worthy. I don't know why, but October had always been a really tough month for me. October was always the toughest financial month for me. And it's October and my life has completely changed. It is not what it used to be because of the lessons that I learned. I remember that I was 3 months behind in my mortgage. And it was a Saturday morning. And we were up, my son and I, and he was watching cartoons, and a police officer pulled into my driveway. Now, I'm not the kind of girl that gets into trouble. I'm not the kind of girl that would have a police officer unless something bad had happened and they were coming to give me some kind of a message. So they pulled in, and the door was shut. My son was watching cartoons. They got out of the car. I'm sitting in my chair thinking, good Lord, what is going on? They didn't knock on the door. They taped something on my door, and they left. Well, what they taped on my door was a 30-day notice that my house was going up for short sale from the bank. I mean, holy crap. Like, seriously? Like, you're 3 months behind and they're putting your house on a short sale? Now, I knew that I was in trouble because I was working with the bank to try to pay my mortgage. 2 things happened. One, I finally had enough money to pay my back payments and they wouldn't accept them. Like, what kind of crap is that? Like, I'm going to pay my mortgage even though it's 3 months late, and you're not going to take it. You're going to put my house in a short sale. I'm losing my house. It was a panic situation. Also during that time, everybody was losing their houses. I mean, it was during that time when it was like somebody walked up to the mortgage balloon that everybody had gotten these houses. My house was not on a balloon mortgage to where it was a $400 payment for 6 months, and then it went up to a $1,200 payment. That's why most people were losing their houses at that time. Mine wasn't that situation. I just wasn't making enough money as a single mom and doing what I was doing. And during the process of knowing that I was behind, I was also going through the process of a plan that Obama had in place at the time to save people who were losing their houses. So I had gone through all of the paperwork. I was waiting to hear whether or not I qualified for them to remortgage my house, put what I owed on the back of the mortgage, and let me basically start over again by making my first payment. They put that note on my door, and the next day I called. Maybe it was Monday because that was Sunday. But the next day I called, and it had gone through. And so they told me not to worry, that the paperwork would go through and I wouldn't lose my house. But I'm telling you, that was a hard season. And I learned from that season. I learned how to be better with money. Like, when I finally started to work on my credit score, it was probably in the high 400s, which is really bad. Bad. It's in the high 700s now. I have improved so much since I got my shit together. But I'm telling you, it has taken me probably 3 years to improve my credit, just by paying things off and being smart about making decisions. So a gift was, I almost lost my house, but it taught me to learn and grow and be better about my finances. And one of the things that I hope to do in the longevity of this show is to really help women with their finances, because we want to have abundance in our finances. And the very first thing, without going into learning your finances today, is get to worthy. Get to worthy on yourself, feeling worthy about you. One more example that I want to give you that was incredibly a painful season in my life, and that was when I was married back in 2000. And I was being emotionally abused. I had never even really thought about or knew about what it was like to be emotionally abused. I always thought about abuse as physical. And so when I was being emotionally abused, I didn't recognize it because I didn't know. I didn't know. I didn't know what was happening. And finally, after months, it hit me because of something that had happened in my emotional abuse. So I'll give you my story because maybe this story will help somebody. Maybe you don't know you're being emotionally abused in the season that you're in. And that is that my ex-husband would pick at me, 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 would pick at me. And I'm a strong girl. I could take it. It takes a lot to make me break, like for real. And when I finally broke, when I finally lost it, like breakdown, lost it, his response was, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Would you like to take the credit card and go shopping?" No, I'd like to. No, I would not. But it was then that I realized he's not going to be happy until you break. And when you break, it's like he was like the cat that ate the bird. Feathers going everywhere. I knew then that I had to get out to save myself. I knew then that the most important thing that I could do was to protect my self-worth. So you talk about getting to worthy. You have to be at worthy to protect your self-worth. Get there. Get there. And if you are in an emotionally abusive situation, girlfriend, talk to somebody. Please, please find help. Because you do not deserve to be in that situation. And it is really, really painful. I know it is. I've been there. Tell your girlfriends. Tell somebody you trust. Okay? So that was a lesson that I learned. And a gift that I learned from it was that my self-worth was worth protecting. That I did not want to live that kind of a life for the rest of my life. And I got out. So these tough seasons that we live in, they can be painful. We can experience growth if we choose to. Take a look back at your seasons and find the gifts. And look at your life today and ask yourself, are you using those gifts that you learned back then? I believe that all of us right now are ready for a season change. When I started, this message that I'm going to give you right now had absolutely nothing to do with what I was actually going to talk about in seasons. But I dug into my Bible, and the very first verse that I read on seasons was Daniel 2:21. And it said, God changes time and seasons. And so I believe this word is for us right now, that we are all getting ready for the next season in our life. And listen, girlfriends, it has nothing to do with who is going to win the election. It has absolutely nothing to do with the pandemic. This new season that's coming has to do with you and the choices and the decisions that you decide to make going into this season. So this word is for us right now, and I am so pumped up about it. I want to encourage you to believe that this new season is going to be all about new strength, new creativity. It's going to be about new energy and new beginnings. If you're taking notes, I would like you to write this down. Continuing to live with the painful seasons in your life will stop you from entering the seasons that you've been dreaming of. So let me say that again. Continuing to live with the painful seasons in your life, it's going to stop you from entering in the seasons that you've been dreaming of. Girl, we've been working on your dreams. You've been working on your dreams. We want to see these new beginnings. If you are serious about this, then this word is for you. Girl, it is time to let go. It is time to let go of the pain from the past seasons. It is time to let go of the rejections. It's time to let go of the character assassinations. It is time to let go of the closed doors. It's time to let go of the divorce. It's time to let go of the failed businesses. It's time to let go of the closed doors. It's time to let go of the relationship that you're in right now that's holding you back. And it is time to let go of the bitterness that you have decided to live with, that you've gotten comfortable with, that is so deep down on the inside of you. Girl, it is time to let go. It's not by coincidence that you're watching this video or you're listening to this podcast. This message was meant for you in the season that you're changing into. I believe that God is saying, hold on. Hold on to your dreams. Hold on to your dreams. Hold on to the dream that He has put on the inside of you to write that book, to start that new business, to go back to school, to move to that new state for that better job, to say yes to volunteering to get into a room with new women who will inspire you and lift you up. Girl, it is time to hold on to your dreams. And if I was a good singer, I'd be singing it right now. Hold on tight to your dreams. But I'm not a good singer. But you get it. Hold on tight to your dreams. Like Daniel 2:21 says, God changes time and season. I believe that this is our time. I believe that God is going to take that dream that He has planted on the inside of you, and He is going to make it bigger and better than any of us ever thought possible. He has shown that to me in my life. I have started with a dream that was about this size, and He has made it this size. So believe. I need you to believe in yourself. I need you to, if you are not at worthy, to get to worthy. Remind yourself every single day in the mirror, I am worthy. Because you are. You are worthy. You are worthy. It is time to let go of the past pains, the past sorrows, the past bitterness. Let it go. Let it go, girl. Let it go. And it is time to say yes. It is time to say yes to new beginnings, yes to new creativity. That's all you have to do is say yes. I'm ready. I'm ready for the new beginning. I'm ready for the new energy. I'm ready for the new strength. I'm ready for the provisions. I'm ready for the protection. Over this new season, say yes. Let go of the past sorrows. And hold on to your dreams. Because, girlfriend, this is about ready to get ripped on open in here. If you have a girlfriend that needs to hear this message, please tag her if you would. Please share this with her if you would. I would really, really appreciate it for me and for her. Mostly for her, especially if she needs to hear it. I'm Kelly Lynn Lozano. This is the Kelly Lynn Lozano Show. Girl, I love you. I believe in you. You are worthy. Until next time.